My cat Jack lived for 9 months after I brought him from Moscow to Budapest. He was old and would have died anyway eventually, but the stress of the move probably hastened his death. After I had buried his ashes, his empty urn stood on my shelf. What should I do with it? Put tulips in it? Smash it? No, said a voice in my head. Put your paintbrushes in it. And so I did, and out of Jack's urn, as if from a magic pot, came a series of 26 paintings. The process was indeed phenomenal. I don't think I could repeat it now. I was going through my photos of Jack. There were dozens, and in every one he looked handsome and knowing. I used these as a basis to bring him back to life in bright acrylic colours. When I started to paint, I was crying. A voice in my head said, "Just because he's dead doesn't mean you cannot love him." And then it was as if a fever came over me. I painted furiously. I painted Jack in the pink armchair and on the yellow stool. I painted him on the kitchen table where he had been told 1,000,000 times he was not supposed to sit. I painted him at the computer and next to vases of flowers, which, by the way, he never once knocked down. I painted him on piles of fresh bedding and on the carpet. Modigliani style, I painted him stretched out on the windowsill. I captured his every mood and pose, his sleek black coat and his amazingly long paws. While I was painting, Jack was with me, and I was almost happy. I produced 25 pictures, and then suddenly it hit me. My art had made no difference. He was still dead. I was close to making myself ill with grief when my Hungarian friend Veronica, no stranger to grief herself, said to me, "He will always be there with you, somewhere in the background." This gave me the idea for the final picture. In all the other paintings, Jack was number 1 in the foreground, as he had expected to be throughout his regal life. In the last painting, the focus was on some irises on my windowsill, with Jack lurking in the background. It was then I understood I had not lost him. You may think it was silly to grieve so much over a cat, but love is love. And in a way, Jack's death trained me for the death of my mother a year later. I was able to grasp more quickly that I had not lost my mother either. You never lose the ones you carry in your heart. Jack gave me his life, and he gave me his death as his last gift. All this happened around the time Vitaly was due to fly in to give his Russian concert at the Kobani Cultural Center. In the big hall, he was going to play Musorgsky's pictures at an exhibition, while in the side cafe, I was going to have a little exhibition of Jack's paintings called "Black Looks Good on Any Colour." I think I mentioned that we brought Jack to Budapest to put him in quarantine because we thought we were going on to Australia. But life had other ideas. As the Hungarians say, "Ember tervez, Isten végez," man proposes, God disposes. Oz turned out to be an unrealistic dream. Instead, Hungary became our Australia. And it was all thanks to a wise old cat who planted us here and commanded us to be happy. His picture hangs in the kitchen, and with his big yellow eyes, he looks over us, protecting us like a black angel.